fastest man in the Big Ten, a postseason monster, a touchdown machine, Raheem Mostert.
Hey, Dolphins, they want to pick you up off practice squad. I'm walking around with my Eagles gear. I signed my papers in my Eagles gear. Like, I don't have no other clothes.
That's
Eagles
hilarious.
Suit, bro. Eagle track suit, like up head to toe. I never forget that day. I rolled over, and it literally was just like this. I looked at it, I was like, oh my God. My wife was like, bro, it looked like you had two elbows. I was like, man, thank you for the confidence. Reek. They said Reek ran
9-9.
I don't see nobody talking about that.
Welcome to the set. This is where I set the tone, set the standard, and bring you on set with some of the biggest names in sports, culture, and in life in general. These stories are real, the conversations are genuine, and the legacies, we set those too. This is the set. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the set. I am your host, T. Stead. I got my brother here. It's been a while. We've been having this conversation, but I finally got him on the show. He's finally joining the set. The fastest man in the Big Ten, regardless of sport, while he was in college. A postseason monster, a touchdown machine. It's none other than Raheem Mostert. Heem, what's up, my brother?
T. Stead, what's good with you, bro? I appreciate that introduction, man. It means a lot, you know.
Facts only, bro.
Hey, look, I wanna give a huge shout out to you. Congratulations on being inducted into the New Orleans Hall of Fame. Where your jersey's gonna be in the rafters. Everything's gonna be all good. You know, I'm just beyond happy for you, bro. And you know, we've played some ball together about 3-4 years, and you know, everything that we did together was magical, and I'm just happy that I was at least a catalyst and trying to help, you know, with what you got going on in your career, and you know, even a little small intricate part of helping you, you know, get on them little chips on the edge and stuff like that, you know, try to do my little thing, even though you didn't want me to touch them. But, you know, I still had a job to do and make sure my dog is set and straight. And, you know, I just wanted to say, man, I'm just blessed and honored and even having a conversation with you, even though we've already had that discussion about you being a Hall of Famer and everything, that you're one of the best left tackles to ever do it. You know, I've played with a lot of good left tackles, and you were up there in top tier, both in character, you know, what you do off the field, everything that you do within the locker room and on the team, you know, and it's just one of those things where talent can't be denied, but even more so personality, that can't be denied. And you have one of the special talents and personalities that I've ever witnessed with my own two eyes. So just want to say thank you, brother, for being you always, and being inducted. You know, so I just gotta have it in for my guy.
Oh, listen, that's it. I'm done. That's the show. That's the episode. We go. No, Heem, I appreciate you, bro. For real, genuinely, sincerely, thank you, brother. Thank you. And we're gonna get into a lot of your story, and I'm gonna give you your flowers too. One of my favorite teammates of all time, and not just as a teammate, but as a person, as a friend, outside of the locker room, hanging with each other's family, you know, kicking it, me, you, your wife, Marcus, we out in LA kicking it. All the things, man. So I got a lot of flowers to lay at your feet too, Heem, for what you've done. Your story is incredible. And now we get a chance to allow the viewers to enter your world and hear some of your story.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Appreciate that, man.
Let's get into it, Heem. I'm trying to really figure out what direction do I want to go first. Do I want to tap into the track and what you did in super impressive, crazy numbers, championships? Do we get into the football career, or do we go back home first? And I think we start home.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and why your upbringing is different than almost anybody else that you'll meet?
Yeah. You know, I think that where a foundation starts in anybody's life is, you know, based off of how they grew up and their home base. And for me, I grew up in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. It is about 15-20 minutes south on the east coast of Daytona Beach. And it's a little town, it's everybody pretty much knows everybody. Families all get together. Growing up was challenging at times. But sometimes you just got to make the most out of it. And for me, that was the case. I witnessed a lot of different things in my life when I was younger. Gun violence, domestic violence, alcoholism, and so many different things. But also good too, right? I realized that football was a way out, and I realized that at an early age. So to be able to recognize that and wanting better for myself and for my future and for my future family, it was only right that I go to stay the course and have good academics. Just try to do everything that I can to make it out, make it out of the area, make it out of the hood, as you would say, and make it out of my family dynamic and family situation that I had when I was growing up. So, yeah, when I was young, I had a father figure. I use that lightly now, who wasn't the best father figure. He would whoop us at times. Just old school parenting. It was one of those things where you go in that kitchen, you get dealt with. Go in that kitchen, you got to handle that stove one way or the other, and that was the case for me. Watch my mom get beat up on by my dad, right? And domestic violence and hiding in the closet and running away at times. And, even my junior year, got a gun pulled out on me from that same person, when I was trying to defend my brother from when he was in his, little stage of growing up as a teenager. So, yeah, it was just a lot of different things, man. It was one of those things where I just knew that once I got out of New Smyrna, and once I got out of the situation that I was in, everything is free will. Everything is work even harder to make sure I don't go back. And I've seen a lot of people go out of the neighborhood, but then end up coming right back and not making much of their lives. And so that wasn't the case for me. And that's the reason why I chose to go to Purdue University, and in the Big Ten, just get away from the South. I had other offers. I had, Miami called me literally on signing day. It was like, hey, I want you to sign with us. And I'm like, hey, look, I already sent my letter of intent to, this university that's been with me since the end of my sophomore year, junior year. So I'm just gonna ride with them. And it worked out.
For sure.
Graduated. I met my wife there. She played soccer. We met freshman year. Started talking first semester, ended up dating second semester. And she's been my light and shining armor, in regards to how I go about things, how I,
Yes,
I
she
mean,
is.
Dev, man,
Yes, she
how
is.
she,
Yes, she
how she
is.
rock. She's very meticulous on things. She makes sure that everybody's taken care of, not only for herself. She's the last person. She's the person that she thinks about herself the last. She wants to put everybody else ahead, and then it's her. And so that's something that I admire the most about her. She's not afraid.
I admire y'all friendship, bro.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because y'all married, but like I said, I've been around you guys a couple times outside of the building. We've been in different spaces,
Yep.
and y'all are like homies, like
Yeah.
kicking it.
Yeah.
I always thought that was super fire,
That's
bro. Super.
that's my wife. I hate to say it like this. That's my dog, and that's my best friend. That's I climbed a mountain with. And sometimes we had rocky mountains, just like anybody, right? But it's one of those things where you just gotta manage. You gotta get past a lot of different things and trust each other and believe that the greater good is going to come out of everything, and that's what we've built. Even
For
with our
sure.
kids.
For
So.
sure.
But yeah, man, it's college and all that good stuff. Graduated, I'm the
I
first.
wanna I wanna I wanna get you to expand a little more on the situation growing up
Yeah,
with your father figure.
yeah.
Um, how how old were you when you started to take a stand from the violence you know, we all got whoopings growing up, but it's different. There's
Yeah.
levels to it where it's getting to beating, and then you witnessing domestic violence to your mom and to your little brother. Like, how old were you when you started to draw that line? And then what happened? What were like some key moments of your upbringing that really changed your mindset?
Yeah, and that's a great question. You know what? When I started realizing that, it was time to step in and actually be a man, in the sense of making sure that I was taken care of, my family was taken care of, and whoever came across that line, they had to be, I wouldn't say dealt with, but they had to see this man's side, this my side of being a man. And I would say about 14 or 15. That's when I realized, like, hey, look,
Mm.
I stepped up. I got to do what I got to do. I got to protect my loved ones. I got to protect my mom, and I got to protect my little brother and my little sister. Now, especially with a guy that I had in my life, he was real old school. Like, he my grandfather, my grandmother was always the nurturing, but she didn't play no crap. She didn't play, she everybody wants to talk about that grandmother that's, hey, oh yeah, my grandmother was this, that, and the other. My grandma was really like, she was heavily in church, but excuse my French, you still get your ass whooped, if you're doing bad. And she's gonna make you find that limb off the tree. We had a plum tree that was right outside our house, and she made sure that, if you was acting any type of way in her house or talking back, you was gonna feel it, and you was gonna show a sign of respect. And that's just how it was. But she raised 10 sons. She had 10 sons.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. My grandmother and grandfather, they both had 11 sons. One of them passed away when my dad was the youngest one. Um, he was the youngest one out of 11, and his best friend and his brother and best friend, who they were like inseparable.
Mm.
He passed away on 4th of July, um, drowning. He drowned at the beach. Yeah.
Man.
So that kind of took a lot of stuff out of his mental, right? But it was tough just growing up with my uncles, seeing all kinds of stuff. I had a couple uncles that dealt with drug abuse. I had uncles that didn't have their head on straight. I have uncles that that actually were good human beings, that were, you know I listened to them the most, and relied on them the most, because that's what I wanted to do. But um yeah, I think the one pivotal moment that I realized, it changed the course of my life and my career, and everything that I stand for, is my junior year in college. My little brother had got shot by our dad on Father's Day. I was yeah, I was I was in Eugene, Oregon. That was the year I was running track, and I was killing the track scene. Football player running track was kind of like, at that time, it was like, okay, he's not really going to be that good. But I actually ended up making nationals for three events: the 4x1, the 200, and the 100. And so, that Father's Day, I'm calling him up. I'm like, hey, happy Father's Day. Like, love you. I got to go race. I'm in the hotel, about to get on the bus to go to the stadium, the track. And yeah, I ended up placing like eighth in at the 100, seventh in the two, and the 4x1. It was just like, I mean, we trying to compete with the top dogs. You got a lot of these SEC schools that are actually like that. And
Yeah.
so, um, yeah, at the end of the day, was flying back to Chicago O'Hare Airport, and as I'm landing on the tarmac, I get my phone's blowing up, getting calls, texts from people I don't even recognize the number, but they got the same area code. Um, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. She blowing me up. My head football coach is blowing me up at the university. Because he's not with the track team. It was like during that
Yeah. Yeah.
spring ball, right? So he's calling me up, and he's like, "Hey, have you talked to your family? I was like, no. He's like, you need to talk to your girlfriend. You need to talk to Devin. And I'm like, all right. Hang up the phone. I got two homeboys. Both of them, I'm telling you, look at him, you'll be like, okay, he's country. He ain't never gonna cry, and he's a boxer. And his dad has 20 something odd kids. He's not gonna cry. I got both of my homeboys calling me up saying like, hey, bro, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm like, bro, spit it out. Like, what's going on? Like, nobody's giving me any answer. Like, why are they blowing me up? They're like, hey, you talked to so and so. I'm like, bro, just tell me what's the deal. My boy's crying, bro. Like, I could hear it in his chest. Like, and he's like, bro, I don't know how to tell you this. Like, your brother got shot. And I'm like, what? What? Like, by whom? And he's like, bro, you wouldn't even believe this if I even told you. I was like, man, just tell me. He was like, by your dad. I'm like, what? There's no way, bro. So I'm calling my little brother up, and he ain't answering. Come to find out, he in the hospital with bullet holes in him. Like 4 or 5 of them got shot 4 or 5
Oh
times.
man,
Bro,
what?
crazy. Yeah, yeah. So what ended up happening was my like I said, I hate using father, but we gonna use it in this scenario. My father was out, black folks, right? They like going under the tree, smoking, drinking, having a good
Mhm.
time, enjoying the day with their relatives, they classmates and everything. And, he was doing that. And he comes home that night. It was my brother and my mom at the house, and he just goes ballistic. He was a real big alcoholic, like real big alcoholic. And he just goes crazy. He's basically saying, like, hey, look, like the boys around the neighborhood talking about you cheating on me, blah blah blah. You sleeping around the hood, like, and my mom was like, nah, it's not the case whatsoever. And my brother, he was the only one at the time to protect her. Was like, hey, look, you need to get up out the house. Like this man finna kill you. Leave. So she dips off, and his dad didn't like it. He was like, you interfering. Decided to kick him out the house. He's like, this is my house, this is my rules, blah blah blah. Like you gotta go. Brother starts packing his stuff. Then they get into it. Like my little brother, if you see him, I'll show you a picture, T. You see him at the time. He was big in that weightlifting stuff. Like he was like actually, and he still does to this day. Like he moves weight. I'm talking about like 365 for 15, bro, easy.
Oh
Like
boy.
I'm no bullshit. Like
Yeah.
excuse my French, bro, but he's really yoked up. He's really like that. And at the time he was, about 17, 18. And yeah, so he got into it with his dad. His dad didn't like it, told him to hurry up, get out. He pulled a gun out on him. It was like, you ain't moving fast enough, get out. My brother grabs all his stuff. He's walking out the driveway. He's walking down the driveway. Now, there's one part of the story that people really have to feel, and that's the only way for me and my brother to communicate when I was in college was gaming. So like we would play the Xbox and play Duty all the time. Every night was like I would get an Xbox session with him, right? And that was how I had it, because he was kind of like the bad kid. He was always getting suspended, like fighting all the time. Got expelled in school, that, and had to go to alternative school in Daytona. And I made sure I was trying to keep a level head for him and trying to be there without being there. And Xbox was the only way for him. So he's walking out. His dad grabs his Xbox and chucks it down the driveway. It just breaks everywhere. And he forgot that he had the gun on him. So he went to go charge at him. And that's when he pulled a gun out and shot him face to face, like right here. Shot him 2 times, hit him in his abdomen and his hip. And then my brother realized he didn't feel it because of the adrenaline. So he didn't feel it. So he realized he just got shot, looked, and just started taking off, running down the street. As he's taking off running, his dad shoots him 3 more times in his back, in his butt cheek, in his back, lower right back. And thankfully, like there was a military guy that stayed right down the street from us. He heard the shots and ran outside and started like really shooting back to make sure my brother was straight. Yeah. Brother goes in the house and he calls 911. The guy calls 911. I heard the whole recording and everything, bro. It was crazy. The military guy calls 911. He's like, "Hey, kid's been shot, blah blah blah," and you can hear my brother in the background like, it hurts, like, and they had to airlift him in a nearby field, airlifted him to the hospital, and yeah, he's still alive to this day. He has a scar right down the middle of his chest, bro, like literally, like right down, going around his belly button, bro, and it's all stitched up because they had to open him to get the bullets out. One bullet had got lodged in there. They couldn't remove it, otherwise it would have done more damage. So he had to stay with that bullet in for a little bit. But that was a moment right there where it was just like, yeah, it's over with my family. I had the whole court process. My mom wasn't by my brother's bedside. She was playing both sides. That's my husband, and at the same time that's my son. But she's over here basically, it's what do you call it? Like when you go against, your basically they're on the phone talking, her and her husband talking on the phone like, hey, make sure Eugene doesn't get to the courthouse so that way they could throw the case out. And it's like they're trying to. It's basically a conspiracy to try to get my brother away from the court system and have all my uncles and even my little sister. That's why me and my sister don't talk to this day. Because she did that along with other things, but that was just the cherry on top. We got our younger brother that's just sitting bedside, and you over in the courtroom, having your daddy's side, and that's just something that I just can't rock with. My grandfather was the only on my mom's side. My grandfather, God rest his soul, was the only one that stuck by my little brother because he did not like our father. Like every time we would go to Grandpa Dennis's house, like in Daytona, our dad was never around. Like would never go to drop us off. Like nothing. Like it was like that because he hated him. Like he wanted him to rot in jail because he was doing his daughter dirty. Like and that was.
Did he get locked up?
Yeah, he got locked up 10 years. He got 10 years for that. My little brother, he wrote an article because he got so many people talking to him. He had his, our grandfather basically saying like, nah, give him life. Like, make homeboy, you got to make it easy. Like, just give him life. Don't let he should never see the light of day again. Then you got my sister like, come on, that's your dad. Like, that's yeah, I'm his baby girl. Don't do that to him. He didn't really mean it. And my brother just decided, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna just give him 10 years. I'm gonna just tell him that he got to serve 10 years. 10 years is good for me. And so that's what my brother chose. Me, I was like, man, look, because he pulled a gun out on me my junior year. When I was defending my brother. My brother came home, and he was getting a beating, getting a whooping, with a belt, a leather belt, all literally like lacerations all on his back, all kinds of stuff. And I stepped in. I was like, this is not a, this is too much. I grabbed our dad. We wrestled a little bit, and I ended up I was stronger than him. I put his head through a piece of drywall in the house, like like an ostrich when they put their head in the ground. That's what his head looked like on the side of the drywall. Boom, big hole. I'm like, he said, hey, look, no more of this. He pulled a gun out of me, told me, kick me out. Bro, I was out the house for this is my junior year in high school. Yeah. I was gone for like 2 months. I was staying with homeboys and stuff like my homeboys.
Dang.
Yeah. So it was just like, little stuff like that, bro, that's why I'm in this moment. I felt like I had to go, everybody has to go through experiences, right? Like I had to go through that to realize that's not what I want for my life. That's not how I want to treat my kids. I want to treat my kids with respect. I want them to like what they like. I don't want to have to, be in that state where how I grew up. It's never going to happen. That's why I'm cool, calm, and collective. I might get rowdy. I might get, turned up or whatever, but for the most part, bro, I'm chill. And that's how I want my family to be,
Yeah, for sure. Man, appreciate you sharing for sure. Yeah. Crazy story. Yeah. Like to be where you are and to accomplish what you've accomplished, bro, from
Yeah.
your starting line, unbelievable.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things though too, bro. It's like, you know, when you got great people around you too that, you know, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do better. That want to help you out the most. You know, it takes a village, honestly. You know, and anything and everything I do, I give credit to those that help me get to where I'm at. Those that have helped me along the journey. You know, like yourself, you've helped me along the way, whether you know it or not. You know, just even having a conversation with you. You know, and opening it up, and you know the conversations we've had in the past. You know, that means something. It may not seem much to you, but it does seem a lot to me. You know, it means a lot to me to be able to open up to a guy who I never thought I'd be in the same room with, and that's what's special about a locker room. You know,
For sure. For
you can
sure.
have those conversations, whether it be tough, whether it be sincere, sweet, whatever you want to call it. You know, just having a conversation with somebody and opening up and asking them about your life and you asking about their life, that's what makes a locker room special, bro. And you know, I know that you retired and stuff like that, and here I might be. We'll never know. We'll see. But that's the thing that you're gonna appreciate the most, you know, when you look back. It's like, dang, like I had those conversations, you know, I got into some deep stuff with some guys, and I
For
got
sure.
into great memories. You know what I mean?
And
So
build some great relationships, man. Got
yeah,
some brothers from the league.
yeah,
You, some of them guys in Miami, some of them guys from New Orleans, like real family. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So definitely that locker room a special place. Let's get into your journey. You got me. I'm a little, you know what I mean, I'm trying to collect,
yeah. No,
right?
no, no. I know that's a lot to take in,
That's
bro.
a lot, bro. That's a
But
lot. That's a
yeah,
lot. But man, inspirational though, bro. How you go about the way that you do, like
hmm,
how appreciative you are, the gratitude,
yeah,
even with everything that you've been through. You talk about how fortunate you are to have this person, that person, or this moment, this opportunity, when you really could have went the other way, bro. You had
could have.
every opportunity, every excuse to go the other way,
Let me
and
tell
you
you
did
this.
not, bro.
Let me
Very
tell
inspirational.
let me tell you this. When I got that call about my brother being shot, and I was in Chicago O'Hare Airport, bro, no lie, right hand to God, I literally had about, I'd say, $1,500 to my name. I had $1,500 to my name, and I was legit gonna, because I didn't know who did it. You know, I didn't know, and when I found out, the my father was on the run. Like he left the scene, drove in his truck, and left. Like nobody knew where he was for like hours, bro. Right hand to God. You ask my wife to this day, or ask anybody that was right next to me. I was about to buy a first class ticket, bro, with the $1,500 that I had. I was about to fly a first class ticket down to Daytona, a one way, and try to find out what the fuck happened. Excuse my French. I'm sorry,
No, you're good. You're
but
good. You're good.
I was about to find out where he was at, and I was about to risk it all. I was about to risk it all. But the person that really talked to me was my track coach, bro. He came up to me and he put his arm around me on the bus and was like, "You not leaving. You not going anywhere. You not. You staying right here with me."
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Shout out to Coach. Man.
Coach Green. I'll never
Shout
forget
out
that.
Coach Green,
Yeah.
for sure.
He put his arm around me and said, "Hey, buddy." He's a little Bahamian dude. Hey, man, you're not going anywhere with me. You're gonna stay right here. You know what? He was like, "You ain't gonna risk anything. You staying right here with me. We gonna figure this out together." And I'm thankful that he did that. You
No
know,
question. No
I'm
question.
really blessed and thankful that he did that because I was T. When I tell you I was one step, bro, about buying that ticket. Right, I was getting ready to head to that desk and buy that ticket. I really was, bro, because
Man.
when it come to your family, especially your
Yeah.
little brother,
Yeah. For
like
sure. For sure. For
you
sure.
gonna do anything and everything.
For
But
sure.
when I called my brother when he was able to talk. Bro was in the bed, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? You good?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like in this raspy voice. Yeah, I'm good. I'm like, you need me to come down there? And the thing that he said was, nah, you keep doing your thing. I'll be all right. And said, all right, all right. So I ended up staying. I didn't go home.
Yeah.
I could have left. I could have took some time, and we had spring ball coming up too. I had to stand up in front of the team and tell them, hey, look, I could have left, but I'm here with y'all. I could have left. I could have all that hard work that I put into the university, all the time that I had with you guys, all the
Yeah.
class curriculum that I did, the credits and hours and all that stuff. Like I could have just
Throw it
all
all
that could
away.
have been null and voided, and I could have went straight back to Daytona and figured it out.
Yeah, I can only imagine being in that team meeting.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's get to Purdue.
yeah,
Let's get to Purdue, man. You did so much incredible thing in the midst of all of this too.
yeah.
What you were accomplishing at Purdue is insane, bro. At the University of the Fighting Drew Breeses.
Hey, he is
You
a legend.
man, legend, legend.
Man's a legend.
So yeah, before we dive into your NFL career, what you did in track at
Mm.
Purdue, gold medalist, 60-meter dash, 200-meter dash, indoor, outdoor, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, NCAA qualifier, outdoor championships. You ran a 10-1 in the
Mm-hmm.
open 100,
Yep.
20.6 open 200. So when y'all was talking about all this, who the fastest, when we was in Miami,
Yeah.
and y'all were talking about all this, you ran a 10-1. Who had the best open 100 time in college?
Me.
Out of you,
Me,
Vaughn,
Reek, yeah,
Cheetah,
Vaughn, yeah.
Waddle.
I did, yeah.
Wow, that
I don't
10-1.
think Waddle. I don't think Waddle didn't run in college. Reek
Okay.
was the only one. Actually, you know what? I give Reek the benefit of the doubt, not in the 100, but in the 60, because he did beat me in the 60 when we went
Like
to
head to head.
not head to head, because he was in a heat. He was in a heat before me. We
Okay.
raced. We raced in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is when he was at Oklahoma State. We
Okay.
raced. We raced in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that was to get into the finals for 60-meter, or was it a two? I think it was the 200. Yeah, I think it was the 200. I think he beat me in the 200. Yeah, I think
He beat your prelim time.
he beat my prelim time in the 200. Yeah, and I didn't
But
make
in
I
the,
didn't make it. I didn't make it in the 200.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he beat me in the 200. So that's the only race Reek beat me in was the 200.
All right. I got some questions for when I get down to the Dolphin segment of the I got some questions. But yeah. So you go undrafted,
Hmm.
2015. You get signed to Philly.
Yeah,
Practice squad in 15. Had a great preseason, leading the league in scrimmage yards, all those great things. You
yeah,
signed with, in your rookie year, undrafted, you signed with the Eagles, the Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns.
yeah.
How was that rookie year going through four organizations trying to find a home?
Honestly, it was tough. Because I felt like I did everything right when I was with the Eagles. Um, I was with Chip. Chip was the head coach and the GM at the time,
Yeah.
and yeah, I felt like we had we were taking four. They were taking four running backs, and three of them were already off the board. You had Ryan Matthews, DeMarco Murray, and Darren Sproles. So off the rip, three running backs that's gone, like
Oh,
gone, and they need a
right.
fourth running back, for special teams. And I was like, all right, cool. Like it's me and Kenyon Barner and what's the running back's name for Chicago right now? The undrafted, or no, he was either a late round or undrafted one.
Singletary?
No, Manungai.
Oh, okay. I'm a young guy. Okay.
I played with his brother. Yeah, me and his brother. His
Oh,
brother.
wow.
Yeah, his brother was running back. Uh, yeah, Kevin Manungai. Kevin
Okay.
Manungai.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. He was an undrafted guy. And it was me, him, and Kenyon Barner that was fighting for that fourth spot. And we were all doing our thing. I led the league in, like you said, scrimmage yards. I was with me and Tebow. I was with Tebow that last game against the Jets, going
Wow,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it was good. It was great. And then we go into cut day. So I'm in cut day, and I'm sitting there with Chip Kelly. I'm the last. I'm the last cut. Like I'm the very last. There's nobody after me that are gonna cut. So I walk into Chip's office, and he's like, "Yeah, you did great things, and we're so proud of you, blah blah blah." Right, giving me the whole spiel, and he's like, "Hey, look, we're gonna take 4 running backs, and we're gonna go ahead and give the spot to Kenyon Barner." And I'm like, okay, like no shade to Kenyon, like Kenyon, he had some good returns, and that's because I helped him with them good returns. I was like, I kind of like felt like something was going on, but then I thought to myself, well, it's the Oregon connection, and he was hurt last year when he was with the Panthers, right? He got drafted by the Panthers, so he ended up getting cut and all that. He came to Philly, and he was getting help too, but whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, I appreciate you. I'm kind of tearing up because it's my first big shot. It's my
Yeah,
first.
for sure.
Damn, you tell me like now I'm cut. Like I'm a nomad at this moment. Like, but hey, if you get cleared, then we're gonna assign you back to our practice squad. Okay, bet. So I'm like, all right, well, get signed to the practice squad. We got our first upcoming game, big time first Monday night game against Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. I'm like, okay, cool. And come to find out, they travel the whole team. All the practice squad, everybody travels. I'm like, all right, cool. So we get to Atlanta Sunday. We're in Atlanta, watching everybody play, and then come Monday, right? Monday, I'm like, all right, well, I'm just chilling. I'm just traveling. I'm gonna be a supporter. I'm do what I gotta do or whatever. I don't know what role I gotta play, but I'll play whatever I gotta do. And I get a call from my agent, bro. It's 12 o'clock, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, hey, Dolphins, they wanna pick you up off of practice squad. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I had a GM at the time. He called me up. He's like, hey, we're gonna pick you up. I'm gonna get the logistics. Everybody's gonna have there's gonna be a lot of people reaching out to you. I'm like, all right, bet. So I get I get to I get the call. They're like, "Hey, a taxi's gonna come pick you up." I'm like, "All right." Taxi comes pick me
I'm
up.
about
Take
to say taxi. That's
taxi.
you old before Uber.
Oh, boy, taxi. He's like, "Taxi gonna come pick you up." I'm like, "All right, bet." So taxi comes pick me up at the hotel. Mind you, bro, I'm head to toe in nothing but Eagles gear. Like I don't have no other clothes.
That's
Eagles
hilarious.
jumpsuit, bro.
No
Eagle
way.
tracksuit, like up head to toe.
No
So
way.
Bro, I swear to God. So I get to the Dolphins facility. I'm, I'm walking around with my Eagles gear. I signed my papers in my Eagles gear. So
I love it.
I
I
go
love it.
downstairs, and Joe and them, right?
Yeah.
Joe and them was there my rookie year. Sweden, all them, they was all there my rookie year. Joe, when we was in the Dolphins, Joe was like, "Hey, you remember when you showed up with your Eagles gear?" I was like, "Yeah, I know, I remember."
That is dog. That's crazy. That's
So
legendary.
I get down to EQ, and Joe and them was like, "Hey, yeah, we gotta get you out of this." I was like, "All right, come on, what you
That's
got for me?"
legendary.
Yeah,
Legendary.
bro. Yeah. So I ended up, with the Dolphins and playing. I played like 3 games, 3 games with them as a return
Okay.
specialist, and then I ended up getting cut. Um,
Spent
as I'm
time with the
walking,
Ravens and the Browns.
spent time with Ravens and Browns. I made most of my time with the Ravens. I had I played about like 7 games with them, or however many. Yeah, and I was a return specialist, but I was playing gunner and all that good stuff,
Okay.
and going crazy, having a good
Yeah.
time. Ended up getting
So,
released, and
yep.
then
2016. I'm gonna read this off.
yeah,
So you play 4 organizations in your rookie year, but you're playing. You're
yeah,
you're you're out there getting those live reps. 2016, signed with the Jets, released 6 days later. Signed
yeah,
with the Browns. Signed with the Bears,
yeah,
practice squad. Up and down stint with the Bears, released from the Bears. Signed with the San Francisco 49ers. Boom.
Rest history.
Boom.
Right.
Boom, 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 boom.
So
You get
Chip
your
Kelly,
first.
yeah, I
No,
about
go
to say
ahead.
Chip Kelly got fired at the end of that 2015 and then got hired for San Fran. So
I didn't even put that together. Okay.
hired
Okay.
at San Fran. So by the time I went to Jets Chicago, and then by the time I got to San Fran, I actually broke my pinky in Chicago. So they gave me the option to either stay on practice squad IR or just get cleared and get released. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just get released. I'm gonna take my chances. So took my chance and ended up signing with the Niners. They Chip's the head coach, and I had to meet them in Orlando. They had just played the Dolphins. They had a West Coast trip or East Coast trip. They just played the Dolphins, and they were going to play Chicago. So I had to fly into Orlando, where I'm very familiar. They were practicing at UCF. So get to UCF. As I'm walking in, another running back's walking out of the hotel, and you know who that is? That was
Who's that?
Kelvin Taylor,
I don't know that name.
Fred Taylor's son.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
he walking out as I'm walking in, and yeah, the rest is history. I got my first ever carry. It went for 5 yards, or 6 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah, go ahead and get that yard.
Yeah, I went 1 for 6 against Seattle last game. I got my.
What was the play?
What was the play? It was just a gun run, like basically like 34-35.
Okay.
Yeah, get my
Okay.
carry. And then I also had a reverse kickoff return or punt return. I went like 30 yards for that.
Okay.
Jeremy Curley caught the punt
Okay.
return. I was on our sideline, like a little trick play, but I was behind him. I was on our sideline, and he ran forward and then threw the ball to the other side. I caught the ball and then ran like another 30 yards.
Hmm.
So that was
Your action in 2016.
yeah. Yeah, so that was my action in 2016.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2017, you played in 11 games. Season ended up getting ended with MCL sprain late.
Yeah.
But what was it like being with the team? Like, this is your first time with the team for a full season. How was that?
I was getting special teams, a lot of good special team stuff, returning, playing gunner, going down on kickoff, hunting, playing the L2, R2, getting busy. And then all of a sudden, I get the MCL sprain. That put me out the last 3 weeks of the season. So they put me on IR, but it was just cool because like I was finally getting some action at running back too. Not as much, but it is what it is. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take it. But the following year, started getting a little more action. But it was like every year it just started climbing.
for
Started
sure.
climbing.
You found a home. You found a home. So yeah, 2018. After the first 5 weeks, you have your breakout game against the Packers. 12
Yeah.
carries, 87 yards. 2 weeks later, you get your first touchdown on a 52-yard run against Oakland.
Yeah, the Raiders.
How gratifying was that? How gratifying was that first touchdown on a
you
50-yard?
want to, yeah, you want to know the crazy thing? So that was amazing. Like I was so happy. I was like, I was on cloud nine. Like everything happened. Everything was perfect. The next series, go back in there. It's third down. I ended up breaking my arm.
I know, broken forearm.
Snapped my arm in half, bro. I was sick. Literally, like I
How?
got the right there, scars. I was
How
running
how'd
like
you how'd you do that?
it was a dive play. And dive it was a dive play to the left. I only needed about like 3-4 yards. And as I'm running, I get tripped up from the DN on the backside. And so
Mm,
he did that. I went to go stick my arm down. My arm stayed, but the rest of my body just carried to the left. And it just snapped in half, bro. Like a routine stiff arm to the ground, my arm just snapped in half. Yeah.
damn.
I never forget that day. But
Let's
I rolled over and it literally was just like this. Like I couldn't control it, bro. I couldn't control
Oh
my.
man.
I looked at it, I was like, oh my god, bro. It didn't hurt, but it was just like, dang.
Oh my God.
My wife was like, bro, it looked like you had two elbows. I was like,
Man.
thank you for the confidence.
Heem, in 2019 is when you took the lead by storm. And the 49ers, you guys were rolling, number one seed, which I hated because we almost got that number one seed.
Yeah.
And when I was in New Orleans, but y'all ended up getting it the last play of the last game at the inch line. Dre Greenlaw, big hit. I never forget it. So you played in all 16 games, first time in your career, 772 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, 180 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. The playoffs come around. Y'all finished 13-3. You leave the divisional round with a calf injury, healthy enough to come back against the Packers in the NFC Championship game. 29 carries for 220 yards. Talk to me, Heem. What was going on?
Yeah. Now what? It was. I think that season was just like so magical. It was. As we had a battle with y'all over there in the dome. It was that by far was probably like one of my favorite games, just because I got to see not only like your offense and our offense, but like the defense too, and special teams. Special teams,
Facts.
everything was working out. And we were all just trying to make a play, and we went down to the wire in that game. With I know
Facts.
you remember when George Kittle had stiff armed and was getting
All right,
face
all right,
mask and all
all right.
that. But no,
Come on, bro.
it was a good game. That was a good game. But yeah, no, the NFC Championship game, that's the one that I left my mark, and left my mark for good. I was coming into that game as basically the second string running back. Tevin Coleman was our starter that game, and he was doing a great job. We had 3 running backs on that roster. We all went 500 yards apiece, and it was like something that hasn't been done in a long time. Me, Matt Breida,
Mm-hmm.
and T Cole, we all were doing our thing the whole season. And so with that game, it was like kind of like the next man up mentality. T Cole, Takeo got hurt. He had like some elbow or shoulder injury early on in the game in the red zone, and so they told me to go in there. I went in there, scored a touchdown, and then scored 3 more touchdowns after that. Just running all over the defense. But it was a fun game. It was a game that is probably nobody will ever break that record, or at least come close for a while. There's been some guys that have done it. They have been close. Saquon, I think he had like 3 touchdowns a couple years ago, but not 220 yards. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah. Only Eric Dickerson, the only
only
person, and that was in
yeah.
1986.
And I could have broke his record for the most yards. I think he was close. I was close to him. I don't know right off the top of my
Yeah.
head, but I know it was like around 260 or something like that. I think so.
He had 248.
248.
You was 20
Yeah.
yards, 20, 30, yeah, 28
Yeah.
yards. And y'all was smashing the Packers so bad you didn't
I didn't
even
finish.
get a
Yeah.
chance to like really, yeah, you ain't even finish the
Yeah. I
game.
didn't start and I didn't finish it because I knew we was going to the Super Bowl. But
Let's talk about that,
yeah.
Hank. So you dominate NFC Championship, go to the Super Bowl. What is it like to score a
Yeah.
touchdown in the Super
Bro,
Bowl?
it was that year it was a lot of it was fun. It was a lot of highs and a lot of lows. I mean, not so many lows, but one low brought it extremely low. I ended up losing the guy that I call my father figure. I lost him right before the start of the season. And he was just at my baby shower for my firstborn, my son. We had a baby shower in Ohio, and he was there. And next thing you know, come to find out, he had brain cancer and skin cancer. And after that trip, He was sending me texts like, "Hey, I'm gonna make it out." He's a strong guy. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna make it out, and I'm gonna be able to meet your son." Well, unfortunately, it didn't happen. So it was like I had to birth my son, but then I also lost a true father figure and role model that played a very vital part of my life. Um,
What was his name, Heem? Let's give him for the
yeah,
viewers so they know it's not the same father figure that was at the beginning of your story.
yeah. His name was Mike Stokes, and we called him Coach Chop. Nickname was Pork Chop.
Gotcha.
He was
Gotcha.
he was one of those guys, man. He always helped out the community. He was the commissioner for the Pop Warner League in our area and in our county. Did a lot of great things. Had cookouts, sleepovers on his property. He has a big piece of property in my hometown, so he'd invite kids to come over, ride dirt bikes, four wheelers in his woods and stuff, and just have a good time. Talk about the swamp apes, that was trying to
Mhm.
scare us in the tents and everything like that on his property. So it was one of those things where he just made everybody feel like he was a father. That was his role. He wanted everybody to feel as though it was like his children growing up, and everybody respected him. But I ended up losing him, and then I scored in the Super Bowl, and I invited his son and his wife, Mama Chop, out to the game. I got tickets for them, and they were there, and it was magical because I scored in Hard Rock. I'm from Florida.
Oh wow, you're right. That
Yeah,
was, yeah, that was. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I was in Hard Rock.
And you scored a lot in Hard Rock
Florida.
too. We're gonna
I
get to
know I
that.
did. But yeah, it was one of those. It was one of those moments, man. I didn't even do my surf celebration. Didn't even do it because I was just so geeked up that I scored on Florida soil. In my home state
In the
in the
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Something that a lot of guys have never done in their career. I've done that.
Very few have done that, bro. Very few have done that. Very few. Going to the Super Bowl, scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl. You guys come up short against the Chiefs with a great game in South Beach, which I was actually there, which was crazy for the Man of the Year nomination. They
I
had all
remember.
us at the game, and I'm watching the game with Barry Sanders. So it was
Mm.
like unreal. All of it, the whole experience was unreal. So you finish up a great career in San Francisco. You get diagnosed with significant cartilage damage in your
Mm.
knee. You miss the rest of the season in 2021. You go through rehab. You sign with the Miami Dolphins in 2022 with Coach Mike McDaniel, who you were with for a long time in San Francisco. Having these concerns about your knee, they sign you to a 1 year deal. Did you have concerns about your knee, or did you know you were going to be able to do what you did in Miami?
No, I just knew that I was gonna. I mean, I had the will and determination to get back and be who I am, and be a dominant player. But it was going to take a little extra work, especially with a knee injury. And I got with the right trainers, got with the right staff and diet and everything like that. It was just, Kylene, nutritionist over in Cleveland, Dr. Chad T over in Cleveland helped me out. He gave me a book that it's called Obstacles the Way. If you ever get a chance to read a book and you're going through any type of injury or something, it's literally like a small little like a little small book that you could read. You could read it in a day. Um, and that book alone just helped me get my mind right. It's literally talking about any obstacle that's thrown your way, basically just dominate it with full effect. And you'll be able to reap your fruits of your labor. You'll be able to enjoy everything once you dominate those obstacles. So once I read that book and got right and health and eating good, that's when I knew I'd be able to come back from that injury and really take off. And I did. that first year at the Dolphins, it was like I think I ended up getting like 800 yards coming off my knee.
891, so 900 yards.
Yeah, I missed a lot of yards on the table, but it is what it is. I scored what 8 touchdowns.
You had, yep, 891 yards, 8 touchdowns in 2022. You signed a new deal, new contract with the Dolphins in 2023.
Yeah.
Rushed for over 1,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, set a Miami Dolphins franchise record.
21 total.
And 21 total touchdowns, setting the Miami Dolphins touchdown record. And selected to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Initial ballot, first ballot Pro Bowl. What's that like, Heem? Going from being an undrafted free agent, the journey that you had, making all these stops, to breaking a record for a historic franchise, getting over 1,000 yards rushing, selected to the Pro Bowl. What was that moment like? What was that deep breath, that exhale like?
Yeah, it was basically a sigh of relief. It was one of those things where it's like I done went through all the griminess early on in my career. I went through countless cuts. I went through, unbelievable and uncharted territories of where I'm gonna be, where I'm gonna stay at. Sleeping in extended stays because I didn't know how long I was gonna be on the team. Having to pack up and have my wife, drive from Miami back to Cleveland in her car, with our clothes, our luggage, because I just got released. And it was one of those things, man. It was just like, golly, finally. Like, I should have been in a Pro Bowl, multiple times off special teams alone. And I got snubbed a couple years. Injury happened 1 year. Come to find out, they ended up taking 2 kick returners 1 year. And I'm like, what? Like, I got the most tackles in NFL in like the whole year on special teams, and I got snubbed for another kick returner, and it was just like to finally be able to get that nod, and then also breaking Ricky Williams' rushing record, rushing touchdown.
Crazy.
Ricky Williams, bro, like my first ever NFL game, I went to go watch him against the Patriots. Me and my grandfather drove us down. Me, him, and his best friend to go watch Ricky Williams and the Dolphins take on the Patriots, and it's like I broke his record.
Now you breaking his record. That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, and then Mark Clayton, I broke his record for most touchdowns scored in a single season. I think he was at like 20, maybe 19 or 20, and I got 21, and that hasn't been broken in like 30 or 40 years. You know what I mean?
That's lit.
But it's like those accomplishments mean a lot. But I think that having my brothers being there with me to experience those things in that year, it wasn't just me that was out there. It was all of us.
That year was special, bro.
Yeah, that year was like probably the funnest year I had, not just because I was scoring, but just because our friendships, right? Everybody in the locker room, we all were good. Like everybody, there was no drama, there was no, anything. It was like we knew exactly what we needed to do. We didn't have to have. We literally policed ourselves at times, and it was like because we really didn't have to police ourselves. It was just like that was the way. It was understood. And
2023 was an incredible year. A fun year. We had all the talent. Injury bug killed us at the end of the season.
Oh my God, killed us, bro.
With you going to the Super Bowl with the Niners in 19, and you looking at that roster, how did the 2023 Miami Dolphins stack up? Do you feel like that was a Super Bowl caliber team, being that you went to the Super Bowl and played in the Super Bowl with the Niners?
It was definitely a Super Bowl caliber team, and the only thing that I would say that's different was the defensive aspect, because the Niners defense, that was like you couldn't score on us, defense
was nasty.
Yeah,
nasty.
I mean, y'all scored what? Y'all scored 40 points on us?
Yeah, we hit y'all for 42 in the dome, in the Superdome. Drew was just,
Drew was lighting it up. Drew was doing his thing.
Yeah. But no, But going into that game, y'all were the number one defense in the NFL by
Yeah,
far. Like y'all, they was giving up probably 6 points a game
that's it.
at that point. And
Yeah,
we really got hot and it was a shootout. Y'all scored 45, we scored
yeah,
42. But
yeah.
yeah, I get what you're saying though for sure. That defense
But
with crazy.
yeah, but I would say like both those teams, it was a lot of fun. It was because like we all hung out, right? And that's the
Yeah,
thing that most people don't realize is like, yeah, guys gonna be guys and do their own things, but like there was also a lot of guys, we all connected. We all went to dinner with each other. I mean, you
yeah,
hosted how many
yeah.
countless dinners and everybody pulled up. Like, you know what I
Facts.
mean?
And then nobody clean up.
And nobody
No, I'm just
cleaned up. I did. Hey, I did my part though. I cleaned
yeah,
my plate
you
or
always did.
whatever. I
You
made.
always looked out.
Yeah, you got to help the host sometimes, bro. But yeah, no, it was just one of those things, man. That's what it takes to win, and a lot of people don't realize that. It's like having the wives together, having the girls together, and doing their own little
No,
thing, and making their own little events, and going shopping or whatever they want to do, and then having the guys, get together and going to dinners on road trips and hanging out and shooting the shit. That's how you win. That's the key to winning and making sure that you can trust your brother. And I think that was the case for us. But unfortunately, we didn't get far because we caught that bug. Had we caught the bug early on in the season, we would have been good. But we caught that
yeah,
bug at
yeah.
the end of the season when it mattered the
The
most.
worst possible time
The worst.
and lost every starter, bro.
Every start,
It was bad.
especially on defense. Especially on defense. But it was
Yeah.
damn magical those moments, and that by far will be the greatest. They always say the greatest show on the greatest show on surf
On grass.
on grass,
Greatest
not
show on
surf, but
grass.
the greatest show on
That
grass.
was fun. Fun football, bro. Y'all with all the speed and the points and the defense was going crazy, man. JP, Chubb,
Yeah,
just out there balling X and all of man, that just was man, yeah, that was I missed that time that we had in Miami. I
yeah,
want to ask you a question about the head coach.
yeah.
I've seen you be vocal about head coach Mike McDaniel different times. I want to ask you a different question.
Mhm.
I don't really we not gonna get into any of that, Heem. I know I was there. You know what I mean? So I understand every piece of what you spoke about, what y'all went through, how y'all relationship evolved throughout the years, all the things. I want to ask about current Mike McDaniel as offensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. How do you see them and their situation with what they have and the young running back on Marion Hampton, Justin Urban, and the guys that they got on the O line coming back? What do you think Mike McDaniel will be able to bring to that offense?
I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell. Whatever they're working on. It's probably gonna be relative to what we did. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But they don't have. I mean, I haven't really digested their roster yet because I haven't really been into it like that. But I could tell you they don't have any guys like Waddle or Reek. You know what I mean? At the speed position to take the top off, but they do got a guy, that can get that type of stuff done. And Justin, he could dish the ball out, and they got Alec. Alec signed with him, so he's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
Hitman over there.
yeah, Hitman's over there. So it's a good opportunity for them to take off on that offense. It's gonna be something to see just because we know what that offense looks like, or at least what it's supposed to look like. And Harbaugh is a no nonsense type of coach. He's gonna demand a lot out of his coaching staff and even the players. You know what I mean? And that's his pedigree. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how that offense runs and how everything transpires for sure. I'll be
For sure,
watching.
for sure. Yeah, no, definitely gonna check them boys out. Um, I told you I wanted to ask about the speed monsters that we had down there.
Yeah,
We've talked about it. Waddle been on the show, Vaughn been on the show, Reek's been on the show. Now Heem, between you four in a 40-yard dash, all healthy, all at their best, who's winning in 40?
I mean, me. I gotta say me.
You don't have to say nah. We're gonna go through different scenarios, so different races.
Okay, so 40,
40.
40. If my start is good, yeah, there's no competition. But my start has been somewhat lackluster over the years, so I would have to give it to somebody else. But if my start was good, yes, I'm taking that race. Now, if we talking 100, me prime 100, oh, I'm winning that. I'm winning the 100 for sure. Because what they say, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
And I didn't see Waddle run a 10-1. I ain't see Reek run a 10-1. I haven't seen Vaughn run a 10-1. So I mean, let's keep it a buck.
Then one of them run a 9-9 like later in the
Reek they said Reek ran
9-9. 9-9.
I don't see nobody talking about that. So maybe it might be wind dated. Maybe it might have been, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You funny, bro.
Nah,
y'all all do each other like this. Dog, y'all all do each other like that. That is hilarious.
You got to though. You got to keep these guys honest, man. You know that.
In a 200 meter.
200. Once again, I ran a 10.6 was my fastest.
20.6.
Oh yeah, 20.6. My bad. 20.6. I mean, I don't know what Vaughn ran. You know what he ran in the 200?
I don't. I think Vaughn ran 10-1 in the 100. I don't know what he ran in the 200. So I think y'all both ran 10-1 in the 100. I believe so. Yeah. I believe so.
All right. I know Waddle can't run that 200. That's not him. He ain't built like that. 20.2?
Yeah. So Vaughn ran a 20.2 in the 200.
Yeah, little Joker Mike got that one.
All right, Vaughn got the 200. Said little Joker Mike. Talk to me about Vaughn. He just signed a new deal.
Hey, congratulations! I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him. I texted him and I said, "Hey man, congratulations, bro." Yeah, I was super stoked for him. He deserved it, man.
Where does he go from here? What's next for Devon Achane?
Keep climbing that ladder. Keep climbing that ladder. Put in some good years and try to get another extension. That's the coaching staff loves him over there. They obviously they do because they paid him. Let him go out there and do his thing. He did his thing last year, made the Pro Bowl, and so the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? But I would tell him keep his head on that grind still. And keep proving them people wrong. Whatever them people say, keep proving them wrong because he's been doing that since we've gotten together, since he came into the room as a rookie. You know what I mean? So
he's special, bro.
Yeah, he is a special cat for sure. He's one of them ones.
You had another special running back with the Raiders. You played for the Las Vegas Raiders last year.
Ashton.
Putting up, Ashton Jeanty. Talk to me about him. What makes him a special back?
Bruh, hey, when I tell you he gonna be one of them ones. He is one of them ones now, but he's definitely one of he different, bro.
I see you lighting up right now. I see you lighting up right now.
I've witnessed this stuff with my own eyes, bro. The type of stuff he did in practice and then like in the game, bro, and it translated. Bro, I've never seen a dude run over another dude like and just keep running. Like the way he just lowered his shoulder, bro, and just like it was crazy, bro. Like he did that multiple times, not just one. He's just like
what is it about him? If you can pinpoint something about him that separates him, that makes him different.
So you talking about from the rest of the league, rest of the running backs?
Yeah, just from who you've seen with your own two eyes.
Nah, what I would say with him and what makes him different, and he's explosive, bro. He's the most explosive player I know. Like in regards to when he get that ball, his jump cuts and acceleration, like he could legit jump cut in a phone booth, bro, and make you at the same time gonna make you feel something as well. Like it's crazy. Like I've seen it, bro. Like he'll hit the hole and you might have thought that he was tackled or whatever, bro. He'll just spring out for another 30. He'll hit the hole. He'll give you a little shake and bake in that hole and just be gone. Like it's crazy. Like he doesn't have like true elite speed. He got enough to get up out of there. And if you try to even try to tackle him low, arm tackle, all that is gone. Like you're not no.
Okay.
Not
All
happening.
right. All right. All
And
right.
he can
Yeah.
catch the ball out the backfield and make something shake. Like that's what he does. Like, he gonna be a special cat, bro. I can't wait to see him go from year one to year two. Year one was tough for him because of what we had, the situation and everything.
Yeah.
But year two, yeah, I'm sold already. I'm sold that he's
Man,
gonna be something.
that's exciting, bro. That's
Yeah,
exciting. That's fire. That's fire.
yeah.
I can see the energy, like as you talked about him, like
There's
you
hey,
witnessed
there's a
greatness.
lot of there's a lot of running backs I done been around, and especially I've witnessed, for some time, and he's definitely up there. He
Wow.
could definitely do a lot of different things. He could run routes. He's gonna be special, bro. Him and
I'm
Bijan,
snapping.
Bijan too. Bijan's like that too. I like Bijan.
Bijan.
Yeah,
Different.
different,
Different for
bro.
sure. For
Hmm.
sure. For sure. All right, Heem, give me top 5 defensive players you ever played against.
Top five defensive players I ever played against. Dang, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give a shout out to Fred Warner. Fred is,
Have
is
to. It's only right.
it's only right. He's
It's
he's
only
by
right.
far one of the most special players I've ever played against, and played with.
Yeah.
And then also I would have to say Nick Bosa. Nick is different, bro.
It's only
Nick,
right.
the only right. Them two right there alone, and they on the same team. Um, Another defensive player. Man, I want to go safety. Yeah, I want to say safety. I would say, you know what? A younger Poyer, Jordan Poyer,
Okay.
yeah, he was
In
like that.
Buffalo.
Yeah, in Buffalo. When he was younger, yeah, he was really like that.
Okay.
So I
JP,
think,
shout out Jordan Poyer.
yeah,
My
JP.
dog.
Um, that's three, four corner. I'm gonna have to go with Ramsey. I'm gonna give Ramsey the nod.
Shout out 5. Shout
Yeah,
out 5. Jalen Ramsey.
J Ram. I played against him multiple years, bro, and and Aaron Donald. I'm gonna give Aaron Donald the nod.
Have
That's
to.
yeah,
Have to.
that was that.
Have
That's my
to.
five. That's my five.
Give me two more linebackers.
Two more
So
linebackers.
you got Fred Warner at linebacker. Give me two more linebackers that you had to be on your A game because they making every tackle, blitz pickup, all of it.
You'll be shocked, but I felt like Luke Kuechly was one.
I will not be shocked at all.
Bro knew
Not shocked
everything. He
one
knew
bit,
exactly where to go, what hole to hit. Like
bro.
it was
Twice a
crazy.
year. Play him twice a year. Play him twice
Yeah,
a year. Hate him. Hate him.
bro, despised them, bro. It was like,
A
hey,
monster, bro.
as soon as
Elite.
you make a call, he knew exactly where the ball was going. Like
Facts.
if your starting center said like Ron, oh yeah, he knew it was pass. Like it was just like
Elite, bro.
yeah,
Elite.
him, and then I gotta go with the OG. I gotta go with Wagner. I
Bobby
gotta
Wagner.
go with Bobby because Bobby's
Yeah,
elite too. That was one of them that he knew exactly. He was literally everywhere. It didn't matter
for sure.
in coverage, out covering you, like covering me. It's like, bro, I'm I'm 200. I'm 205 trying to sauce you up. You 240, maybe 250. I don't know what you are. I'm faster than you. I gotta be out. But he just knew how to work his
Yeah,
angles and beat the speed.
that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. All right, last thing I got for you, Haim. Top 5 running backs right now going into this year.
Going into this year, top five running backs. I'm gonna have to go Bijan. I'm gonna
Okay,
have to go Ashton.
okay.
Um, let's
It's
see.
2.
I'm excited to see where Christian goes. In
Okay.
regards to
Yep.
I know that last
He's in there
year,
every year.
yeah, he's in there every year. I like Christian. Christian's one of my guys. Um, let's see, two more. You know what? I want to see what that rookie does in Arizona. Jeremiah Love.
Oh,
I
okay.
was with last year. I was with his running backs coach when they were in Notre Dame, and he was talking about him, and I actually started watching him a little more last year, and him doing his thing, and I want to see where life takes for him. This year
Mm-hmm.
with Arizona with AZ, and um, you know what? I'm also intrigued in seeing where Kenneth Walker, what he does in the Chiefs.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, K9.
And then I got to give a
K9.
shout out to Jameer Gibbs. I get to give a shout out because I like his game. So
Oh, it's still listen. We in a running back era, like it's back.
yeah,
Y'all brought it back, bro.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
yeah,
still got Vaughn, still
yeah,
got Saquon, still
yeah.
got Derrick Henry,
Still
you
a lot
still
of
got
guys. Still,
Jonathan Taylor.
there's still a lot
You
out
still,
there.
you know what I mean? So
You got you
it's
got
y'all back.
James Cook. Still
Still
got
got James Cook.
still got a lot, bro. So
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna see.
back. It's
We're
back
gonna see what these running backs do. I'm like I said, I'm excited to see those guys. I'm excited to see all of them. Honestly, I want to see how it plays out, and hopefully I'll join one of them. We'll
for
see.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure. No, you still got great ball left to
Yeah.
be played, him and finding the end zone because that's what you do, bro.
Yep.
Getting
Yep.
them touchdowns, man. I'm sitting that surf celebration. Heem, it's been a pleasure, man. As a teammate, as a friend, as a brother.
Yes, sir.
We locked in for life, my
Always.
dog. Your
Always.
story is so motivational, bro, inspirational that like you do not have to conform to what you've been through. You can
Nope.
choose your own path. That
Yeah.
free will that you spoke about. I greatly appreciate you sharing, man. Thank you for joining this set, my
I
brother.
appreciate you, bro. Hey, and congrats again, bro. God, Lee, I'm so happy for you, bro. My dog is in the Hall of Fame. Let's go.
Appreciate it,
Yeah.
bro. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
man. All right,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
Appreciate y'all.